Hello and welcome. I'm Tommy and today I am doing the performance video of the Logitech G703. I am doing it all wireless, just so you know. The DPI that I'm going to be using is 800 for everything. The in-game sensitivity for CSGO will be 1.77. So to describe kind of what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be trying to look at some objective measures such as some aiming in CSGO and then also some online tests to try to validate the objective things that you can use for your own mouse, and check out my other performance videos and compare those numbers, see how they correlate. I don't know if they actually matter or not. And then at the end of the video, the second half of the video is going to be all gameplay clips and etc. of me playing CSGO and probably some PUBG and perhaps some other games. I'm not completely sure yet, but without further ado, let's dive into this. By the way, I also stream on Twitch on a regular basis. The link will be in the description below. I would love to see your beautiful face there. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go into offline course with bots, workshop, and then training aim CSGO to dark by, I think, nope, not 100% sure on that, but... And then this holds 2 of the tests. I just figure this is a good test because it's one of those that you've got your in-game sensitivity that you're used to, and then it also has some things that you'll be doing in-game anyways, so I tend to like this quite a bit as a measure. All right, so here we are inside of the game. I always start with the M4 because I just feel like it's one of the most accurate. I like to go to white, so here are the 2 different modes that we're going to be doing. There's going to be classic for fast aiming, intensive for, and then intensive fast aiming. We're going to start with classic at the size of 12R. It's a little bit big. Anyways, there's 23 things that are going to come up, as you can see, like this, and then your job is to shoot them. And then what I'm going to do is reset every time I shoot one of these, just to make it as objective and as fair as I can. There are 4 modes, so without further ado, let's start it up. So far, so good. I almost waited too long. Oh, I shouldn't have missed that one. Oh, I shouldn't have missed that one. I saw it too late. So there's the blind side down in the right corner there. Shouldn't have missed that one either. That was my doing. So with that one. All right, so that one was poor. We're gonna redo that one real quick, just because I had a lot of personal mistakes that I made there that absolutely have nothing to do with the mouse. Oh. That one was better. So far, so good. I moved on the last second for that one. Wow, I waited way too long to pull the trigger on that one. That one I just pure missed along with that one. So there's no actual tracking wrong with this. It's using the PixArt PM3366 sensor, which is a ridiculously super fantastic sensor. Really, it's going to perform the same as any other Logitech mouse for the most part. It's just in a different body. As you can see, really precise movements are super good as well. I don't think these are quite as good as with the Logitech G Pro. It could also be because this is wireless. So those really tiny, small movements are just a bit harder to do, I feel. Personally, I feel like on a wireless mouse, but it's... And I feel like there's just a tiny amount that it's moving or not registering or whatever due to the wireless. It could be me being on crack, though. It just doesn't seem as nice as when I actually have this thing plugged into with the USB, but it's still super fantastic. You're not going to notice it. I guarantee that you won't notice it in normal everyday life. Moving on to the next test, it is the intensive fast aiming. So as you see these dots come up, you can only have so much at a time before they disappear. I like to try to get to at least 100 or more, and the reason why I picked the 5R is simply because that's headshot size. And then the reason why I like this too is most of the time when you're playing video games, you're not reaction time all the time like, oh, let me snap here and here and here. You know where somebody is. You're going to be pre-aiming for the most part and knowing where it is. So that's what's nice about this, is you know where your mouse crosshair is going to be going next, instead of where with the other one it's just random. So that's why I like this test. So without further ado, let's start it. It's also kind of a fatigue test as well for your arm. I'm missing way too many, okay. Try it one more time. Can't hit that one to save my life. All right, so I didn't get quite to 100. I'm not going to. I did notice, surprisingly, I did get a little bit of cramping right here in my forearm. I usually don't get cramping with mice. I don't know if that's just bad, particularly for this mouse or not, but I've never gotten cramping there with any of my other mice. So that's kind of an interesting thing. 98, I mean, most of this is still going to be like, okay, how good is your error? But I like it just because I feel like it still shows how accurate it is. The reason why I failed that 100% was me, not the sensor failing. There was a little bit of cramping, which is once again why I say I like that test. So there you go. In that sense, I don't know if there's anything else that really needs to be done here. So for the rest of the video, the next thing, now we're going to move into the next part of the video, which is going to be the online test. All right, so for this next test, I'm going to hop over to I Am Bored and do the Mouse 101 test. So here we are on the website. I'm going to click play. The one thing that I don't know if I really like about this is your in-game sensitivity is probably going to be different than the sensitivity that you're going to be using like on your normal web page. So that's why I'm not as big a fan of these types of tests. I'm going to do this mouse test 101 3 times. And then you can see how good or bad, and you can test your own mouse, see how you do. All right, so the first one is to roll over as many targets as possible. All right, 86 is usually what I get. By the way, this web application is running at 30 frames per second. Wow, I missed that one a lot. This one I always do super bad on. I think it's a poor test. I usually get about 36%. Scroll wheel up and down. It feels really smooth. Some of the other ones you get like this is kind of weird. You feel the individual clicks, but not as much. They're very light. Wow, this is going to be a really low scroll test. And then normal clicking. By the way, through all of these tests, I'm making sure to have the normal type of grip that you would have if you're playing a first-person shooter or something like that. Nothing is... I'm not doing specific things to make the results better or worse by any means. So I just want you to know that. All right, so there was the first scores, which was terrible. Here comes the second. Hey, did better than I normally do on that test. That one was better than the first one for sure. There you go, level 10. Okay. Last one. Hey, look at that. I might have actually figured that test out. It's amazing. Absolutely smashed our last score on this. All right. Gotta get myself pumped, you know. I think the highest I've ever gotten here is like 168 with other mice, so it's just the lack of my own speed with my clicks is just not the best. Man, no record breaking there, but still we were doing better every time, so should score higher than we did the last time around. There you go. So as you can see from the objective measures, this mouse performs absolutely spectacularly. So let's see how it responds in game. Like I said, probably the gameplay footage, I haven't actually made it yet, which is why I don't know. It's probably going to be from CSGO and from PUBG, because those are two. I feel like CSGO is a good game for aiming because it's kind of super critical in that game. And then I feel like PUBG is just a fun game that I play a lot. So you're going to see some footage from that. So without further ado, we're going to switch to that. So for the first video of Counter-Strike, what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to do 2 games of normal competitive and put all of the kills together into just a solid kill feed. So hopefully you enjoy that. What I want you to be paying attention to here is not so much my skill or lack of skill, but more where's my crosshair placement and what is it doing, because that's going to be more evident of like how good or bad the mouse is. So I will see you in game.
One guy plat.
What a fucking...
That dude scared me.
Nice. Yeah, you got it.
There's a different one, there's a different one.
There's another one. Nice.
That was lucky.
You're there, like,
Oh,
up.
fuck. They're gonna be there.
Flashbang.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, get out of there, get out of there.
Just to your right.
Okay, that would have been. Yeah.
I mean, I have enough money. I don't really care. I wanted to just kill some people. Whoa! They're all B.
They're not too speechless.
Just don't die.
I literally had my A marker fucking right over.
What did he have? What did he
Literally
have?
cannot speak.
He has an op on B, so watch out.
He's to the left. He was like.
Long A. What?
Hey, there's one more. Grab bomb and take rotate.
Oh my god, I was so behind.
Come on, one more shot for that dude.
Come on.
No!
Snowflakes have a big gap long.
Never mind.
Greens. I think that's with the op.
Someone watch your ass.
77.
That makes 3 left.
They stole my kill, man. Did you just come into this thing? Shooting in the back.
Planting the bomb. I just got shot through the smoke. Rush, go. There you go. Keep going, window. Let's go! Thank you.
How you play tactically. I decoyed it. B. That took a lot of bullets.
Ow, he's on back tunnels.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Ain't no
down,
way
B.
I didn't kill him towards his head.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah, they're B.
Oh, my bad.
That really hurt.
Oh, there's one cat. 2 cat.
You're so lucky.
Nice. One on site.
Blue, did you get the guy in the hole?
Okay. Yeah, big.
Maybe not. Alright, so I just got finished actually playing my CSGO rounds and everything with this mouse, and it feels amazing.
She just lagged right through me. I don't know where that dude went. He fucking ran back down to like the street or something. Item. I fuck. Literally reload my Uzi, and then it doesn't shoot. He's pushing you.
Hey, game.
Did you just blast that dude?
Yeah. Oh, almost 8. Oh, God! That was the worst aim ever. Oh, jeez! I'm sorry! Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Oh, God. I'm flipping dead from that. Okay, I'm not dead from that. It's up there. I keep thinking he's gonna move to the other side.
Well, there's 2 dead. You both killed
Guys on the roof.
more on the roof.
Oh, that.
Where is he?
I got him.
They're on the roof, guys. There's somebody on the roof of the apartment.
Oh. Where were you,
Alright,
Tommy?
so I'm gonna
What?
go for it.
Oh, I'm so confused. I thought you were in there
Where
with
the hell
me.
did you just die?
On the roof.
I told you I
on
saw
the
somebody
roof?
down there.
Yeah, on the roof. Like, I thought
I'm
Tommy
on the
was up
roof.
there.
I don't see
He
a
was,
dude.
he literally just, he's on the stairs. You just saw him.
Right side.